Leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has marked National Tree Planting Day by planting a pine sapling. The leader then thanked those involved in greenery expansion nationwide. Ayatollah Khamenei touched on the seasonal phenomena of dust storm in Iran and said authorities must harmonize their efforts to counter the environmental problem. Ayatollah Khamenei then issued a directive for protection of green areas nationwide, especially in the capital. The leader said anyone who intends to breach the greenery for construction goals must be solidly dealt with. On the same note, the leader highlighted a national motto that calls on every Iranian to plant a sapling. Modern hospital hotel Gandhi Hospital Hotel has been inaugurated in Tehran, which can attract hundreds of thousands of patients from across the world to Iran. The hospital hotel is named Gandhi Hospital Hotel as it is located in a street in Tehran by the name of Gandhi in commemoration of the preeminent Indian leader Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi Hospital Hotel has 17 hospital floors and 21 hotel floors with over 100 beds and 40 beds at intensive care units with 17 operation rooms. The complex is providing the most advanced medical services in spaces common between hospital and hotel for the first time in the Middle East. As a country with the most advanced medical equipment and knowledgeable doctors, Iran is an ideal destination for patients, especially when they compare medical expenses with other countries. The hospital officials say when the patients are hospitalized, they suffer from their physical problems, and the least they have tried to do is to provide an atmosphere in which the patients and their families can find peace. In 2012, Iran hosted 200,000 health tourists, earning $1.5 billion, a figure more than double in 2011. So far, most of the health tourists have been from Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Iraq, Turkey, Kuwait, Oman, India and Pakistan. Medical tourists from neighboring states mostly come for transplants, ophthalmology, orthopedics and dentistry. With modern medical centers like Gandhi Hotel Hospital, Iran can be hopeful to significantly increase its health tourists. The Hong Kong International Jewelry Show, the world's largest jewelry event this spring, got underway recently. The event debuts an elite section reserved for exclusive high-end fine jeweler masterpieces, which the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, HKTDC, has described as a total makeover, offering buyers a trading space beyond the traditional. The show is being held at the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Centre, which the organizers call the Hall of Extraordinary. Some 40% of the new exhibitors this year are Hong Kong entrepreneurs, while the remaining 60% come from the Chinese mainland, the Middle East, Dubai, Africa and Japan. With exhibitions of this quality, Hong Kong is confident of maintaining its reputation as a key venue for jewelry trade, as well as one of the world's top 5 jewelry exporters. Private museums have become a symbol for the city of Shenyang, northeast China, as they display in a unique way China's traditional cultural heritage to the world. They can supplement and complete the presentation of the public museums because they provide a wider range of collection in more detailed categories, experts believe. The Shenyang Old Clock and Watch Museum, the first private museum officially registered with the local culture department, displays over 5,000 clocks and watches of over 100 brands from over 15 countries. The clocks and watches are made of gold, enamel, glass and also wood in various shapes and sizes. The museum has been developed from a space of only 160 square meters to a 3-room exhibition hall of almost 2,000 square meters. Li Tao, the owner, said he has never thought of selling a single piece of the collection, although he has been through repeated financial difficulties. Li said he built the museum not only to realize his dream of collecting clocks and watches, also to leave something valuable to the city with his own efforts. The Chinese Cuisine Culture Museum is famous for its over 10,000 collections in 4 themed halls and 17 function areas. The museum, started by Li Chunxiang, a well-known Chinese chef, shows the history and development of Chinese food culture. So far, there are over 100 private museums in the city, with 8 of them already officially registered with the department concerned. A pair of giant pandas departed China for Belgium aboard a chartered DHL aircraft on Saturday evening. The pandas are being released to Belgium for their breeding center in southwest China's Sichuan province to take part in a research program at Belgium's Piri Daiza Zoo. The flight took off from Chengdu Shuangliu International Airport in Chengdu, capital of Sichuan. The pandas are expected to arrive in Brussels after a brief stop in Bahrain and will make their public debut in April. According to Jerry Su, CEO of DHL Express Asia Pacific, the aircraft is equipped with advanced medical facilities and is carrying nearly 100 kilograms of bamboo. Two Chinese experts will cater to the pandas' every need during the flight and only return to China once the animals have adapted to their new home. Hao Hao, the female panda, and Xing Hui, the male panda, are both 4 years old and will stay in Belgium for the next 15 years. It is the second time China has loaned pandas to Belgium. Two others spent 4 months there in 1987. People from Japan and Turkey have prayed for the victims of the Turkish frigate Ertugrul, which sank off Wakayama Prefecture, western Japan in 1890. They held a ceremony recently to commemorate the disaster. The event was part of a series to mark the 90th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between Japan and Turkey. The Ertugrul sank off Kushimoto town in a typhoon. Local residents tried to save as many Turkish crew members as possible. 69 sailors survived. More than 500 were drowned. Turkey's ambassador to Japan, Sirdar Kilic, and other participants left flowers at the memorial in the town. They also visited the site of the accident in a fishing boat and prayed for the victims. Kilic said the victims of the Ertugrul are permanent goodwill ambassadors for Turkey and Japan, and they created the basis for friendly ties. He said the Turkish and Japanese people must develop and strengthen their friendship. Kushimoto Mayor Katsumasa Tashima says he hopes the people will hand down the memory of what happened here to future generations. Japanese tourism officials organized an event in Shanghai to attract more Chinese tourists. The head of the Shanghai office of the Japan National Tourism Organization, Eigo Onuma, said he hopes more Chinese people will have the chance to enjoy Japan colored with cherry blossoms between March and April. Japanese municipal government set up more than 20 booths at the fair. Fukushima prefectural government officials hosted a booth showing images of cherry blossom at Suruga Castle in Aizu Wakamatsu City. Many visitors showed interest in medical tourism programs that combine sightseeing with advanced medical treatments in Japanese hospitals. The number of Chinese tourists has been increasing at a record pace of over 5 months since September, partly due to a strengthening Chinese currency. The tourism organization says 155,700 Chinese came to Japan for tourism or business in January. The figure is more than double that for the same month last year. More than 100 students from Southeast Asia attended a job fair in Tokyo recently to look for work at Japanese companies. Representatives from 15 firms discussed job openings and details about hiring. Organizers said more Japanese firms are looking to Asia as a recruiting ground. They said they hope to use their improved knowledge about local cultures to create more effective strategies for marketing and product development. 46% of the students said they can negotiate business deals in English, and 24% said they can do so in Japanese. A student from Myanmar said she was attracted to Japanese firms by the development of human resources. She said she wants to serve as a bridge between Japan and Myanmar. A recruitment official from a major Japanese car maker said many foreign students have vitality and interest in cars. The official said Japanese companies will need more foreign workers. A small town in Japan's Chiba prefecture is being overrun by some 23,000 small, intricate dolls as part of an annual festival. During the Hina doll festival, they can be found popping up on display and outside local shops. It's an amazing sight, a sea of red peppered with the delicate painted faces of thousands of dolls. Estimates vary, but here in Katsura, organizers say around 23,000 of these Hina dolls are on display. They are set to attract between 200,000 and 300,000 visitors during the Hina Doll Festival's 10 to 15-day period. That's no small feat for a town of just 20,000 people. Luckily for the locals here, they have been helped by another Japanese location which shares the same name. Katsura, in the Tokushima prefecture, began collecting unused dolls from all over Japan years ago, using them to commemorate the Hina Doll Festival. For the last 14 years, city officials and members of the local community worked together during the Hina festival period to put on display as many dolls as possible. Now, Katsura, in the Tokushima prefecture, has helped by donating dolls to this town's project. With that donation, displays now line the streets, while temples and shrines lend their spaces to create striking displays. Traditionally, most Hina doll displays are arranged in rows of just 5 or 7 steps, but in Katsura, displays like this are much larger. Here in Tomisaki Shrine, 1,300 dolls are covering the 60 steps which lead right to the top. Each morning, these dolls are carefully laid out around 8 a.m. by local volunteers and then collected again at around 7 p.m. Tomisaki Shrine curator Mr. Kobayashi explains the tradition behind the doll festival, or Hina Matsuri as it's known in Japan. Of course, over time, playing with dolls becomes a popular pastime among the upper classes. Because of this, the dolls became more elaborate and were no longer floated down rivers but rather put on display. While the symbolism of the dolls as a purifying force still holds today, these dolls are kept each year, then reused. Kobayashi explains that most of the dolls in display here were most likely abandoned by their previous owners. He says, usually when a baby girl is born, parents and grandparents buy Hina dolls for their daughter or granddaughter. When the child is small, these dolls are put on display every year. But as the girl grows older, people stop doing, and the dolls that the family had end up in closets or storage rooms. 14 years ago, the town of Katsura in Tokushima prefecture began collecting all these unused dolls from all over Japan and put them on display as a way of commemorating them. Kobayashi says his Tomisaki Shrine display may well be the biggest in the country. Throughout Katsura, there are doll displays outside shops and on street corners. 9 kilometers from Katsura's town center lies this old elementary school which is in disuse. Now it's been turned into one of the largest venues for the town's Hina doll displays. Despite its distance from the town center, the school is managing to attract between 1,000 to 2,000 visitors a day. The school also boasts this display of the largest Hina dolls in Japan. These were specially commissioned by Katsura City in order to attract visitors. This year's record snowfall in Tokyo and lingering low temperatures has meant that tourist numbers are lower compared with past years, but city officials are confident numbers will return to normal.